In February 2024, the FTC fined Avast $16.5 million and sent notices to 3.6 million customers. The reason? Avast had spent 6 years selling their complete browsing history, every search, every medical query, every private URL, to over 100 companies including Google, Microsoft, and McKinsey. The software marketed to block tracking had been doing the tracking. That's the antivirus you paid for, and Avast isn't the only one. What antivirus actually is, and why this was possible. To understand how Avast could do this for 6 years without most users noticing, you need to understand what antivirus software actually has access to. Antivirus does not sit in a corner of your computer watching occasionally. It operates at the deepest level of your operating system, below most other software, above most other components. It has permission to read every file, monitor every network connection, and intercept processes in real time. You gave it this access deliberately because detecting malware before it runs requires exactly that level of visibility. Without it, the software cannot do its job. A banking app sees your bank account. A keyboard app reads what you type. Antivirus software sees everything, all the time, in a way that no other category of software is permitted to. And critically, it does this invisibly. It runs silently in the background, unnamed in most user interfaces, with no indicator of what data it is processing or where that data is going. The trust relationship between antivirus and user is one of the most complete in all of consumer software. You are not just giving a company access to your computer. You are giving them access you cannot monitor, for purposes you cannot audit, through code you cannot read. That invisibility is what made what Avast did possible for 6 years. It is what makes it structurally possible for any antivirus company to do the same. Every scandal in this video only exists because of that specific, total, invisible access. How Avast built a data business inside an antivirus company. Avast didn't sell your data directly. They built a subsidiary called Jumpshot, originally a competitor antivirus company, rebranded after Avast acquired it in 2014, and used it as the commercial arm for data sales. The separation was structural and deliberate. Avast collected the data through its antivirus software and browser extensions, transferred it to Jumpshot, which packaged it into named commercial products and sold those products to clients. This structure gave Avast plausible separation between its privacy-protecting brand and its data-selling revenue. The product names Jumpshot used were specific. An all-clicks feed, every URL clicked during a browsing session, available for up to 50% of users in the US, UK, Mexico, Australia, Canada, and Germany, across all domains. A purchasing data product, transactional browsing data tied to individual users that clients could combine with their own databases to build individual-level profiles. A domain analytics product that showed clients exactly which competitor domains their customers were visiting before and after visiting their own site. Jumpshot's own marketing told buyers they could see where your audience is going before and after they visit your site or your competitors' sites, and even track those who visit a specific URL. The data was described as anonymized. The FTC found it was re-identifiable, meaning buyers could link records back to specific individuals, and some contracts were explicitly designed to allow them to do so. One contract, as alleged in the FTC complaint, was with Omnicom, one of the world's largest advertising conglomerates. It gave the firm an all-clicks feed for half of Jumpshot's US, UK, Mexican, Australian, Canadian, and German user base. Omnicom was also explicitly permitted to associate Avast's data with data broker sources on an individual user basis, and to sublicense products derived from the raw data to its own customers. The production fee was approximately $2 million per year. This was not a data leak. It was not an accident. It was a product, with a name, with a contract, with a commission structure. By January 2020, confirmed in the FTC complaint, Jumpshot held more than 8 petabytes of browsing data dating back to 2014. Avast never deleted any of it before Jumpshot closed. AVG, a separate antivirus brand owned by the same parent company as Avast, was inside the same operation. Its browser extensions were removed from the Chrome Web Store in 2019 after a security researcher found they were transmitting browsing data to Jumpshot servers. AVG and Avast ran under the same corporate umbrella, shared the same data infrastructure, and sold from the same pool. Avast. What was actually being sold? The specific content of the Jumpshot data is what makes the abstract feel personal. The FTC's complaint included a sample of 100 random data entries from Jumpshot's records. It found searches for breast cancer symptoms, Google Maps directions between two specific home addresses, a link to a French dating website including a unique member ID cosplay content, political candidate research. Every search run while Avast was installed on your computer was potentially in that database. The data was stored indefinitely. Avast never deleted it. Avast's own marketing during this period told users the software would shield your privacy, reclaim your browser, and get rid of hackers making money off your searches. The Vice and PC Mag investigation that broke the story in January 2020 confirmed buyers of Jumpshot data included Google, Microsoft, Yelp, McKinsey, Pepsi, and Home Depot. Avast shut down Jumpshot the same month the investigation published. The FTC fined Avast $16.5 million in February 2024 and permanently banned the company from selling or licensing any web browsing data for advertising purposes. The software that promised to block tracking had spent 6 years selling what it was tracking. Norton, the antivirus that installed a crypto miner on your computer. In July 2021, Norton added a feature to its Norton 360 security suite, a cryptocurrency mining program called Norton Crypto. It installed a file called encrypt.exe on users' computers to mine Ethereum. Norton took 15% of everything mined as its commission. Norton's position: the feature was opt-in and would not activate without user permission. What Norton did not prominently explain: encrypt.exe was installed on every device running Norton 360, regardless of whether the user had activated or agreed to the mining feature. The executable was on your computer, whether you wanted it there or not. Brian Krebs, the security journalist who broke the story in January 2022, noted that electricity costs from mining would exceed what most users could ever earn, while Norton collected its 15% regardless. Security researcher Chris Vickery was direct. Norton is pretty much amplifying energy consumption worldwide, costing their customers more in electricity use than the customer makes on the mining, yet allowing Norton to make a ton of profit. A thread on Norton's own community forum, posted December 28, 2021, was titled "Absolutely Furious." It read, "Norton should be detecting and killing off crypto mining hijacking, not installing their own." Norton eventually discontinued the program. Encrypt.exe remained on millions of computers after discontinuation. Norton was a performance problem. What McAfee did in 2010 was something different entirely. McAfee, the update that broke hospitals. On April 21, 2010, McAfee pushed a routine virus definition update to its corporate and consumer customers. It was meant to detect and remove a minor threat called W32/wecoral.a. What it actually did, it identified svchast.exe, a core Windows system file that Windows XP requires to boot, as a virus, quarantined or deleted it, and sent every affected machine into an infinite crash and restart loop. The scope was immediate. The University of Michigan's medical school. 8,000 of its 25,000 computers inoperable. Rhode Island hospitals turned away non-emergency patients, postponed elective surgeries. Police in Lexington, Kentucky switched to handwriting reports, shut off patrol car terminals. Kansas City Police Department hit. Intel's U.S. facilities hit. An Iowa Community Emergency Response Center, running a disaster recovery exercise at the time, had its computers fail mid-exercise. Because virtually all affected machines could not connect to a network after crashing. Each one required physical manual repair. McAfee's own support forum went down from the volume of users looking for instructions. The QA failure: the update had not been tested against a standard Windows XP P3 configuration before deployment to customers globally. A Gartner analyst noted 2 distinct failure points: no warning before a critical system file was quarantined, and no automated testing that would have caught the false positive before it shipped. McAfee's antivirus had behaved exactly like malware, silently deleting system files, triggering restart loops, denying access to machines. The difference: it was the antivirus itself that caused it. McAfee's executive vice president of customer service wrote, "Mistakes happen, no excuses." Kaspersky, banned by the US government. Kaspersky is a Russian cybersecurity company founded in 1997 by Eugene Kaspersky, a Russian national who continues to reside in Russia and serve as CEO. It became one of the most widely used antivirus products on Earth. Homes, corporations, governments, critical infrastructure. For most of that time, its detection scores were competitive with any product on the market. The product worked. That was never the issue. In 2017, the U.S. Department of Homeland Security issued a binding operational directive ordering all federal agencies to remove Kaspersky software from government networks. The concern was structural. Antivirus software's deep system access becomes a liability if the company providing it is subject to a foreign government's legal demands. Russian law requires domestic companies to cooperate with intelligence services on request. Kaspersky denied any misuse. 7 years of investigation followed. The FCC added Kaspersky to its national security threat list in March 2022. The Department of Justice referred its findings to Commerce. On June 20, 2024, the U.S. Department of Commerce issued a final determination banning Kaspersky from selling or distributing antivirus software in the United States. The first action of its kind under the Information and Communications Technology and Services Authorities, a complete commercial prohibition on an entire software company. The stated basis? The software's root-level access made the structural risk unacceptable, regardless of whether Kaspersky had actually misused it. Commerce Secretary Gina Raimondo. Russia has shown time and again they have the capability and intent to exploit Russian companies, like Kaspersky Lab, to collect and weaponize sensitive U.S. information. New agreements were prohibited from July 20, 2024. Antivirus signature and codebase updates were prohibited from September 29, 2024. Kaspersky announced it was closing its U.S. operations entirely. Every American with Kaspersky installed after September 29 was left with security software becoming less effective every day, unable to detect new threats as they emerged. The antivirus designed to protect them had become, by legal definition, a security risk. Kaspersky maintains the decision was based on geopolitics rather than evidence of wrongdoing. The U.S. government maintains that whether the software was effective is irrelevant. The structural ownership risk was unacceptable. Both statements can be simultaneously true. That is what makes Kaspersky the most unresolved case on this list. The question of whether the software was dangerous was never actually answered. The government decided the risk of the question itself was enough. The free solution that was there the whole time. Microsoft's built-in antivirus, Microsoft Defender, has been available at no cost since Windows 8 in 2012. No crypto miner, no browsing data sales, no government ban, no requirement to give a third-party company root-level access to your machine. In independent testing by AV-Test, AV Comparatives, and SE Labs, the three major antivirus evaluation labs that run controlled malware detection trials, Defender consistently scores as a legitimate and effective solution, ranking alongside or above many paid alternatives. AV-Test's 2023 evaluations gave Defender 6 out of 6 on protection, performance, and usability. This is not new information. The antivirus industry has known about Defender's competence for years. Their response has been to argue, consistently, that they offer additional protection layers, better performance detection, faster response to new threats, and premium support. Some of those arguments are legitimate. But the business reality is simpler. Pure antivirus can no longer be sold as a premium product when a free, effective version ships with Windows itself. So the industry pivoted. The products that used to be called antivirus now call themselves security suites, or total protection, or cyber safety packages. They bundle identity theft insurance, VPN services, password managers, dark web monitoring, parental controls, and cryptocurrency miners. Not because those features are the most effective way to protect you, because those features justify a subscription price that pure antivirus cannot. The antivirus industry was built on a threat that was real in the 1990s and is genuinely lower today, not gone, but managed. The companies that built billion-dollar businesses on the fear of unprotected computers have had to evolve their revenue model. In Avast's case, that evolution involved Jumpshot. In Norton's case, it involved encrypt.exe. The free option that ships with Windows does neither, and for the vast majority of users, it is enough. What actually protects you in 2026? Microsoft Defender, or the built-in security on your platform, kept updated. It runs silently, updates automatically, and does not require a third-party company with root-level access. A reputable password manager, 1Password, Bitwarden, or the native solutions in iOS, macOS, or Chrome. Reused passwords are the single most common vector for account compromise. A password manager eliminates the problem entirely. Two-factor authentication on every account that holds financial information, personal data, or professional access. Authenticator apps. Google Authenticator, Microsoft Authenticator, Authy, generate codes that cannot be intercepted by SIM swap attacks the way SMS codes can. Basic phishing awareness. The majority of successful attacks target the person, not the software. An email that creates urgency and requests credentials is the attack vector no antivirus reliably stops, because by the time you click it, the software may not yet have the signature for that specific domain. None of those four require giving an antivirus company root-level access to your computer. None of them have been fined by the FTC. None of them have been banned by a government. The companies in this video were not lying about the threats. They used the reality of those threats to justify an access level that some of them then exploited in ways that had nothing to do with protecting you. Every company on this list used your trust to justify access they then exploited. Apple has done the same thing, not with data, but with features you paid for and never got back. That video is on screen right now.